Ryan, what do you think of the people who say they don't want any more of the Patrick Mahomes show? People that are bored of what's happened in Kansas City, and if the way that the things have gone for the Chiefs, where look, last season they won how many games where we said they didn't really deserve to win that game, and every good team and every winning team has a few of those.
That Raiders game, I still can't believe it. That Raiders game gets me every time.
They had a lot of those, and I don't think that a certain radio personality is in a small minority here of people who are maybe have grown tired of the Patrick Mahomes show and the Chiefs in that division.
Yeah, this is something I don't understand. If you don't like winners, you don't like people who do it right the whole time. And sure, maybe the Oakland game last year was tough. And how about being a team that can believe through all of that, through all that failure to come out and win the game? How about being the team that gets beat up, but on the final field goal against the Broncos deflects the kick? Mm-hmm. They're willing to work harder. They're willing to work longer. And they're all in it for the right reasons. And last year they did it without a left tackle. You can't one year say, the left tackle, second most important position behind quarterback, and then they have Joe Tooney out there, a center, who has no idea what it's like to play on an island, and they get to the Super Bowl. So their roster betrayed them last year. I think that, Patrick Mahomes had his best play in the pocket. He continued to improve as a passer, and you had a tough last game of the year. So if you don't like winners, I don't understand you, and can't help you there. Maybe you can be a Maple Leafs fan or something like that. They need some,
There we go.
No, you wouldn't get tired of the Maple Leafs winning 5 or 6, but you do.
They don't win.
Mahomes,
they don't
right?
win.
So,
that's the problem. They don't win.
The people up here would not know what to do with themselves, Ryan. That was answered like a true Super Bowl champion. Fantastic answer by you.
Just don't understand it, but hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I just want to see that offense explosive again. I think that's more so what it is. Like the last couple of years, it's been successful. It's been efficient, but the explosion since Tyreek Hill left has not really been there for that offense. Like last year, they were like 15th. Last 2 years, 15th in points. But prior to that, this was a team that was putting up 30, 40 points on the regular.
Valid?
Well, a lot of that is going to be personnel, right? You lose Tyreek Hill, and it's going to affect your offense, right? You lose a guy that they nicknamed Cheetah, and your offense isn't going to be as good. Travis Kelce's getting older. Again, you had some offensive line problems, and then defensively, they've been about as stout as they can be. And look, guys, they beat everybody in the AFC. You asked them to, right? They beat everybody they could, and they lost to arguably the greatest and most respected player in current NFL history in Jalen Hurts, and a monster defense that was, by the way, on turf and not in the shifting grass they faced each other with before. So, they've done the best they can, but I'm telling you guys, from being in the huddles with greats like Peyton Manning, like Ben Roethlisberger, they don't think about losing. Even when they're down 14 in the fourth quarter, they just only think about winning. Because guess what? We know how to fail. We know how to put pieces together. But let's go keep this together. And that's what the Chiefs do better than anybody in the NFL. And I'm looking forward to them doing it again.
Look, they've got some competition in that division this season. I think a lot of people feel pretty good about the Broncos. Some people feel good about the Chargers as well. And who knows? Maybe the Raiders can be a real surprise. In your opinion, the Chiefs win in the division again?
No, I think you're going to get the Broncos, Chargers, or Raiders. I think enough teams now do not fear the Chiefs. And I think one of the things we talked about that Oakland game of the Chiefs early last year, you need those games as a team like Oakland, or last year, splitting the series again for the Broncos. You have to get over the big bad wolf in your division. And once you're not afraid of that big bad wolf, now things can start to go. So I think that's going to be really competitive. I think the Chargers surprised me with how well they played in the preseason, first game, all the things, but they've got to overcome a devastating loss at Houston in the playoffs, and I'm not convinced they can do it. So I think it's between the Broncos and Raiders.